Well, hello, and welcome to another cycle. We've got one more cycle left in our brief respite here before we've got a scoodle-madoodle. And we are stuck here on the far spindle. We decided we wanted to... I want to finish this because I'm really fond of the... I'm really fond of our mushroom farmer from the first game, and I'm hoping that this is this. But also I was just reminded, Stripline Express, we gotta help our grungy bike farmer here. So this is 100%. So let's try that. Okay, so that got us 2. This is 100%. And that got us 3. Okay, so we should have put both in there. And then we'd pretty much be done. This will give us possibly the finishing work? No, not quite. But hey, we only lost an energy. So this should finish it. Oh no. Whoa, we ran out of energy. Oh no. Okay, well, before we starve and start taking stress, we'll come down here and hopefully get rid of some stress. Bunch of stress. Oh, we get 1 energy? Oh no, that's terrible. That's terrible, and you know it. Well, that was a quick cycle, and we're done. Back to nap time. Cool. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you later. Oh, wait, we're done. Back to being starving. Something flickers in the back of your mind. You stop. You have to stop to blink it away. It's a tightness behind your left eye, an aching point that refuses to move. And then the voice begins, hissing through the background noise of the rig systems, a new whine amongst the chorus of the life support and ventilation. Sleeper. The hiss brings Lane's sharp features to mind. I suppose you thought you'd slipped my net. Export jumps into your mind, an image of the stations immolating in white light, though you were not conscious to witness it. You are distant, his voice hisses into white noise, but you're not free of me yet. I'm coming, sleeper, the hiss drops, and I'll retake control of what's mine. The closer I come to you, the more you feel it. Lane moves your finger to tap your forehead. In here. Until you can't resist. A bright smile. Pale eyes. A glowing hiss that hurts. Then the hiss is gone. The rig suddenly quiet. The stinging tightness diffusing behind your eyes, but the fear remains. Sleeper, you good? Seraphine is there, floating by her berth. You were talking. Lane's coming. Seraphine looks alarmed. You feel him, right? He looks away. We can use that. Stay ahead of him. He squeezes your shoulder. We can do this. We're fast and smart. We keep moving. We don't stay anywhere for long. And we find a way. He frowns. Somehow. You nod. You don't know how Lane is able to reach into your mind like this. How he's able to speak to you. But you want so desperately for it to stop. You must find out what he's done to you before it's too late. You must stay ahead of Lane at all costs. Oh, Lane is hunting you again. His progress will be tracked by the hunt clock. If this is filled, he will catch up with you. It will increase once every cycle you spend on a hub. However, each time you travel, the hunt will reduce by 3. If you keep moving, you can stay 1 step ahead of Lane. Okay, that's kind of cool. I like that. So we got 3 in every hub for free, because then we can travel to a new one and be done with it. All right, let's come down here. We've got to get rid of this starving modulus. So let's pop this down. Get a free meal. There we go. And a bunch of energy. Nice. Okay, so that one's almost done. Then we can come up here. We can probably just pop this down and finish this up, yeah. A dangerous drive. You slide the loose panel away from the wall, letting it float there, beside the airbike rack. Behind it, in the dark, you see the blinking lights of the fuse box. A noise nearby draws your attention for a moment. Scrape of a sliding door, maybe? Or just some old system cycling in the wall. It took long enough to gain access to the Stripline Express bike garage, and longer still to find a safe route to the Airbus racks. But you're almost there. You've seen and heard the hired muscle searching and guarding this place, but have been lucky enough not to come face to face with them. And yet. You turn back to the darkness behind the panel. If what Cadet says is right, the drive is taped to the back of the fuse box in front of you. You reach through and around slowly, carefully, and your hand settles on something cold and metallic in the dark. It's taped firmly to the box. You pull at it, but it doesn't budge. A quiet rattle echoes from the dispatch office. Next door, and you freeze for a second. It seems Cadet was a little too enthusiastic with the tape. Let's peel the tape, because this is not good. Boom! Neutral outcome. At least we passed. You close your eyes and feel for the seams of the tape. Taking your time, you pick at it, working each piece away from the drive. You hear a clattering sound nearby as you peel off the final piece, and the drive spins into your hand. Time to move. You slip the drive inside your coat and kick away from the wall, gliding back towards the maintenance corridor you entered from. As you cross the bike garage, you hear voices in the dispatch office next door. Just as you tuck yourself into a cool darkness of the maintenance corridor, a screech indicates the opening of door from the office next door. Voices rumble through the room, and you quickly and quietly push yourself deeper into the guts of the building. Too close. Barely daring to breathe, you carefully make your way through the maze of passages that brought you here. Their dog legs and dead ends, now familiar. Eventually you spot a thin slit of light ahead, marking the loose panel you levered open to gain entrance. You take a deep breath. Almost there. As you reach the gap, you freeze. Voices rumble from beyond, and peering through, you see two figures in dark clothes searching the chaotic bay behind the strip line. Your eyes are drawn to the dark, boxy weapon one holds at their side. Crap, you hiss silently to yourself, their eyes searching for a path through. Well, we're not doing this. We're doing this. Again, neutral. You wait, silent and still as the figures search. They split and drift across the bay. You take the chance, sliding open the panel and slipping behind the scrap and boxes at the edge of the room. You work your way around until you can't get any further. You kick off hard, making a dash for the far side of the bay and the public passage beyond. There's a hiss and the guttural chatter of a pressure valve as an airbike pulls up beside you in the passage. Cadet leans over and grabs the collar of your coat. Hop on. In a moment, you're on the back of the airbike, clutching the strap of Cadet's bag as she guns it down the passage, the air resistance almost ripping you from the thin seat. You lean against her back and let out a sigh, the drive pressing into your ribs beneath your jacket. You did it. Still alive back there? Cadet's voice brings you back from the hypnotic rhythm of the tunnel lights rushing past the airbike. She slows the bike with a rapid series of hisses, and you realize she's brought you back to the passage outside Bliss's Bay. You try to understand the route she took, a long loop through the branching transit tunnels of the station, but give up. You can let go now. She straightens up, and you unhook your fingers from her bag strap, separating yourself from her back. You push off the bike gently and float in the passage beside her. You okay? Looked pretty rough back there, she smiled. Appreciate you putting it all in the line for me. It's all good. Yeah, export's my priority. Fair enough, she shrugs. Want to show me the drive then? You fish the drive out of your jacket and hand it over. That's the one, she squints at it. Should have checked it when I had the chance. You get your first look at it, and there's not much to see. A small lump of solid-state memory with a few markers on the case. You spot a yellow hex among them. Export. This better be worth it, she sighs. I never promised profit, sleeper. She slides her bag around her shoulder to the front. and slots the drive neatly into a pocket. Answers? Maybe. I know someone in the scatter yards who can crack anything. She'd be my first port of call to crack this open. She stretches her shoulders, and I should make myself scarce from the spindle anyway, before those jerks catch up with me. Come with us. Appreciate the offer, but I think it's best we go our separate ways for now. 2 targets are harder to track than 1. She cycles the pressure valve on the bike impatiently. Cadet leans away from her bike, squinting out of the viewing window at your ship behind. That yours? She doesn't wait for an answer. If I'm not mistaken, that old thing's going to struggle to reach the scatter yards. Unless you've added a new, HasNav suite? HasNav? No, we haven't. You'll need hazardous navigation to make the crossing safely. Logic Syndicate created the tech to help the tankers cross the belt. Common knowledge. Cadet nods at your ship. Maybe if you head up to Wellspring, you can barter or steal a suite, she adds casually. Here. Cadet unties a bag lashed to her bike frame and holds it out to you. Not enough here for a refit, but maybe you'll find some use for them. You take the bag and something clinks inside. As you do, you open it to see a couple of engine components. I was going to use them to boost their... She taps the frame of the air bike. But you deserve them. She meets your eye and then looks away. Not like I'm doing any runs for a while anyway. Thanks. It's nothing. Like I said, you deserve them. She flexes her fingers on the bike's handles, eager to be away. Cadet's air bike stutters and purrs, trembling in the air like an arrow ready to be loosed. See you around. She winks and guns the throttle, zipping off down the passage with a pulse of air that ripples through your clothes. You stare after her as she goes, the bag of components still hanging from your hand. You realize, as you look down the passage, that you never asked how Cadet plans to get to the scatter yards. That question, like a score of others, will have to wait until you run into her next. Although you have a feeling she'll find a way to slip away before you can ask them next time, too. You head back towards your ship and stow the components, idly wondering if you would justify buying an air bike to Seraphin as you do so. If you could justify buying an air bike again. Oh, engine components. All right, so now we got 3 of these. 2 of those. Okay, we just got another point because we finished another one of these. Make repairs. Fix a dice slot. Yeah, okay, well, I need to break it first. Yeah, it said we needed to get racked. Not sure if that's what we want to do. All right, we've got 5 of these. What can we spend those on? I know we could do this. We could come over here and just get a bunch of cryo, possibly some scrap. Ah, this is the one thing we're bad at. All right, so let's finish this. Sleeper, Nimba wants to see you. You nod to the other volunteers as you wipe off your hands and clip your cutlery to the magnetic rack. You drift out of the improvised canteen on your way to the kitchen in the back. It was a busy shift, and each shift seems busier than the last. That makes sense, of course. You've seen the steady flow of refugees arriving from the inner system, and most of them, with barely a chit to their name, end up in the underhang. As you cross into the kitchen, you can still hear the rumble of the refugees' conversations through the hatch. The other chief leads you past the rehydrators and the hand-built centrifugal oven to a small office unit at the back of the kitchen. They knock on the door for you and glide away to finish their own meal, leaving you to wait by it. You look around the small but carefully arranged kitchen as you wait. Your shifts here having left you familiar with the mix of improvised and salvaged equipment, some of which you'd never seen before you came here. Come in, Sleeper. Nimba is perched at the desk, uplit by a small transparent terminal screen, reading glasses perched on the end of his nose. You've seen Nemba before, but not as much as you'd imagine you would while working at a place called Nemba's Kitchen. Even though there isn't a proper sign out front, everyone in the underhang knows its name. The man himself is more of a mystery. Apart from the occasional barked order in the busy kitchen, he's little more than a blur to you. Why do you work here? He barely looks up from his terminal screen, the scrolling text reflected in his lenses. I like to stay busy. I want to help. Nemba stops scrolling the screen and looks over his glasses at you. You do well here, Sleeper. You are fast, precise. You're doing good work. He goes back to scrolling. Thanks. Nemba lifts a hand in response. That's my worry, Sleeper. Good workers like you, they move on fast. He leans back and looks at you. 10 cycles, maybe more, maybe less. And then they're gone. And the team? The team gets used to having them here, gets used to working at that pace, then suddenly they have to work differently. They have to pick up the slack, change jobs, change stations. And a few of them think, well, maybe it's time I moved on too. So what I've found is good workers are trouble, especially those who come and go like you. He pauses, watching you. So what is it? Let him speak. This place, it runs on consistency, Sleeper. Those that turn up every cycle, good or bad, they get the people fed. He takes off his reading glasses, inspecting them for smudges. Let's be honest, that ain't you. So let's cut to it. I can't use you in the kitchen anymore, you're done. He shrugs. Sorry. But this place also runs on those machines out there. On the suppliers, I can rope in the donations. Feeding refugees from the inner system is logistics as much as it is chefing. He shakes his head, which is why I'm cooped up in the back. So maybe you're gone. I never see you again. Okay, thanks for coming. We'll soldier on without you. But maybe you still want to be useful. Maybe I heard you have a ship. He smiles at you. Yeah, maybe I heard you chatting. And maybe I have a little something held in place only a ship like yours can reach. And negotiated the purchase of some valuable inner system spores from a group that came from there. But they somehow ended up at the depot in Greenbelt. Nemba sighs. So if you head to Greenbelt, and you find the delivery and you bring it back, well, Nemba looks at you pointedly. That would be helping. That would be the kind of helping a good worker even an inconsistent worker might be able to offer me. Nemba squirts at you. Seems like the kind of thing that someone genuine, someone who wants to help for real might do. Don't you think? He doesn't wait for your reply, but it also seems like the kind of thing that might sit on a list of priorities for so long it disappears and never gets done. I've seen that happen too. I guess we'll find out which it is. He deftly places his reading glasses back on his face and continues to scroll the screen on his terminal. You know the way out, Sleeper. You turn in the doorway, slightly taken aback, and it slides shut behind you. You glide out through the kitchen, through the improvised canteen and the people eating and chatting there, and into the cold underhang passage beyond. All the time considering what you might do next, and recalling that persuasive glint in Nimba's eyes. Oh no! We've got a new drive! And now he wants 4 packed spores. Okay. I see how this is. Pretty cool. Okay, so I got 5s. A couple of 5s I want to spend. Before we leave. Okay, we're full on that. What to do? I think we come down here. Yeah, I think we'll come down here, get us some extra cryo, and maybe, just maybe, some components or scrap. Nope, just extra cryo. Cool. Now, we go to the map, we zoom out, and there's just the green belt. Yes, there's the, oh wow, and it takes 9 fuel to get there. Sheesh. Okay, let's check out this ice-rich asteroid, I think. Do we have... Hold on. Do we have a crew? Yeah, we got Bliss. Bliss is helping us. None of this, though. None of this. And that's probably fine. Because I think it's going to take us a little bit of time to get out here. Uh-oh. Oh, yeah, we can't use our buddy. What's his face? Oh, crud. Well, I guess it's just the two of us. The asteroid looms large in the cockpit's glass light glints off the sheets of surface ice. The same glint that must have caught Malik's attention when he was fleeing the Conway countermeasures that damaged the springtide. There's been no sign of Conway drones or mines, but that hasn't stopped Seraphin being cautious on his approach. You have to admit, you found yourself searching the black void of space for a telltale blinking red beacon, too. We're close enough to jump down into the surface. Seraphin locks down the engines. I don't see anything on the scope, but I'll keep her warm just in case. Thanks. He nods without looking up from the controls. You unclip from your seat and kick off towards the airlock. The scale of the asteroid is troubling, but Seraphin assured you on the journey here that surveying it would be easy enough. Just take a sample from the deep ice for testing. The problem, he said, is getting down that deep. You have to cut away at the ice, dig yourself a hole, and doing so will create fractures in the shelf. The asteroid may be big, but it's held together with only a weak gravitational force. The more the ice is cracked away, the less there is for the far spindle to harvest. Something you doubt Malik will be happy about. You push the worry to the back of your mind to get suited up. Something on your mind? Bliss drifts up behind you and pulls a suit from the rack. Just hope we don't mess up. Me too, they shrug. I don't want to jinx it, but it seems simple enough. I won't say rock, or in this case ice cutting, is my usual strength, but it's got to be simpler than slicing a hole without touching any of the internals. Bliss zips up their suit. We'll be fine. Bliss's reassurance that they don't have any experience with the job you're about to do doesn't actually calm your worries, but their nonchalant attitude helps, especially when you consider the volume of ice that you're about to start cutting into. Cheer up. Bliss punches you in the arm as you get into the airlock. Might never happen. The lock cycles, and you find yourself staring out at the glinting surface of the asteroid. 1 second, Sleeper. Seraphin's voice comes over the comms. I'm seeing something here. Some kind of man-made shaft on the far side of the asteroid. Might be worth a look, but remember, the survey is our priority. Comes first. You can almost hear his eyes roll through the comms link. Don't get distracted. You squint at the rock and spot a dark recess just over the curve of the horizon. Curve of the asteroid. That'll be the distraction then. You refocus on the ice sheet. Time to get started. No. There's definitely the distraction's super important. Ice sheet, frozen shaft. This seems super important. Crime. And I'm not good at any of this. Garbage pails. Oh, we are like the same strengths here. Great. Love it. Cool. Oh, wow. I got 3. Ho. Okay, things are going well there. This is dangerous, but we'll give it a go. A little bit of stress, but we're halfway down. That's good. This is 50-50. We'll probably get another stress if we do. I'm gonna risk this. I'm as surprised as you are. Yes, indeed. Oh no. We've been stressed. We've been so stressed. Okay, well, I don't want to risk a second number being stressed out. Oh, things are not going nicely. And we can't rest while we're on a mission. Okay. What am I going to do with this glitch? I'll come over here and check it out. No, more stress. Boo. I should have just left well enough alone. Well, I do need to crack some dice, though, so... Yeah, oh, we cracked 2 dice. That's the worst roll ever. Oh no, I got another stress. Okay, so I can make one of these a 5. So I'll take a stress, make this a 5. This will actually get rid of a stress. And guarantee we get the actual sampling location unlocked. Perfect. Because now there's a frozen core. Extract the core sample. And he's bad at this now. No. No. Okay, well, I can't use either of these for that. All right, you explore this. Get real super lucky, okay? Shaft descent. Great. Great. Perfect. Ugh. Yeah, that's unavailable too. So there's no reason to come back to the ship except to end the cycle. Trash. Garbage pails, I say. Oh, we've almost cracked a die. What are you doing with this garbage? See, I want to get distracted now. But I'm the one that has to do the frozen core. Oh, I got stressed again. Oh, and I stressed the ice. Oh, no. Oh, I'm just a steaming pile of nerves at this point. Ah. Okay, we're going to push this. And hopefully get the positive action. Oh no, we are fully stressed. We are absolutely fully stressed. All right, buddy. I need you to risk this. I'm as surprised as you are. Yeah, let's flip it again. There's our stress. Good. I didn't want to not feel completely stressed. Everything except a 6 is going to crack a die. Well, actually, that turned out pretty good. Can I fix dice? Might not be able to fix dice while we're here, but this is great. We'll probably be able to finish this. Here, let's get the core. There, we got the core, the sample core. A long and weighty cylinder of cloudy ice comes up out of the borehole cleanly. It glows in the sunlight, catching the rays in its frosted interior. Nicely done, Sleeper. Bliss chirps through the comms. I've never cored an asteroid before, but the result is pretty. Let's just hope it's drinkable. Let's not melt it down for liquid refreshment just yet, Seraphin chimes in. It's likely packed with unpleasant impurities. The question is, are they the kind of impurities the far spindle can filter out? Let's get it up to the ship, and we can run the analysis on the trip back. Seraphin pauses. And before you get any ideas about digging around on that asteroid some more, remember that if we break away any of the ice, Malik will likely dock our pay. You start the journey back up to the ship, dragging the sample core with you. As you do, you look back down at the asteroid, wondering if it might be the bargaining chip Malik has been looking for. You'll know soon enough. Okay, contract is complete, but we've got lots of dice left, and I'm only a lot stressed. So, come over here. Cold never bothered me. Extracted the ice core without spoiling the hull. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Okay, this should be perfect. Almost perfect. Here, you risk getting a stress. Oh, you did get a stress. Okay, so then I'm guaranteed to not get a stress. I just got a stress. We are so close. I'm going to risk it. I'm going to risk it for a biscuit. We are one away. Got it. New location discovered. Scavenge hardware and data. Rusted treasures, ghosts of the past. Oh, so do we wait here one more cycle? Yes, we do. Because I'm here for the story. I want those ghosts from the past, but I don't think we'll be able to get those. Because we are no terrible. Terrible turtle harm. And I can't fix any of them. Lovely. Absolutely lovely. Okay, we'll come over here. Welcome, Alexis Comensa Severa. Welcome, welcome. We'll get some rusted treasures at the very least. Sheesh. 2 rusted treasures. What was that? Oh, rare components? Is that what we got? Pretty cool if it was. No, I don't think that's going to help us at all. That's not going to help us at all. Okay, we better evacuate and head back. On the journey back from the asteroid, you pored over the tests Malik had given you to run, improvising the necessary equipment from your mess. Each one produced spools of data, much of which you couldn't parse. Arriving into the vicinity of the far spindle, you broadcast these strings of data to Malik's personal terminal on the springtide as instructed. Despite all this preparation, you're still surprised when you find Malik standing at the far side of the docking tunnel as you leave the rig. Sleeper, he nods neatly at you. I thought it was better to come down here, away from my crew, to discuss your findings. Trust issues? And the findings were? Straight to the point. He clasped his hands. Good. As I suspected, the asteroid was indeed rich with water ice. Thankfully, the contaminants can be dealt with. He speaks matter-of-factly, betraying little emotion. With the data you provided, I should be able to convince the Far Spindle administration of its worth. Then we're good? To payment, then. Before I make payment, I would like to ask, in person, if you saw anything else of consequence. Anything to share with me that might affect my dealings with the Far Spindle? He folds his arms across his chest. I would prefer not to have any surprises when they go to retrieve their water. There was a shaft. Interesting, Malik smiles. It is likely of no consequence, but if there is something of value there, it could play into my benefit. I will mention the potential of additional salvage to the Far Spindle administration, given the data. It doesn't seem to have impacted the ice. Malik reaches into his pocket and produces a stack of cryojet, bound carefully with a strip of paper. 250 cryo as agreed. You take the chits and quickly tuck them away. With that, our business is concluded, Sleeper. Malik nods lightly. I must speak with the administration to negotiate the release of my ship and then prepare for immediate departure. The Syndicate will be eager for my successful return. Thank you. Malik bows and turns. Should our paths cross again, I will see that it will be to your benefit. Wonderful. Is it gone? It's still here. Oh, but it's all cleaned up. It's not all splouted everywhere. We've got a ton going on here. I really wonder what the ghosts in the past were. I'm going to have to look that up on the wiki probably and figure it out. Okay, so I do have 2 dice. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to fix a die because we need 2 of these. No, these are not quite the same. We need 1 of these. Start the action. Okay, we got a minor thing. Cool. And 1 more. Yeah, it was expensive. Oh yeah, and we got glitch. We did get glitch. Perfect, lovely. And we need more supplies. 60 on supplies and 15 on fuel. Well, we were almost at 500, but now we're still above 400. That's at least a plus. And we got 2 extra dice to spend. Huh. I think we should probably spend them here just to be on the safe side. Just in case. Cool. All right. 450. 450 is pretty good. Whoa, that only used one of our little things here. So we can, okay, we got time. All right, I'm going to look around and see if there's anything else. Okay, the only last thing we have left to do is spending time at Gaia's Gyre. To possibly find more crew. So I think we get racked and we get some energy. And if we just do that 4 times, there we go. The Far Spindle is an exhausting place to find freelancers. There's no shortage of spacers here. The corridors and bays throng with crew inbound and outbound, or on or between contracts, trading stories, contracts, and materials. But whatever language, appearance, or code identifies someone as worth signing on with, you don't seem to have it. Perhaps it's because you're a new face, or you're noticeably unsure, or perhaps it's just because you're a sleeper. You push the thought to the back of your mind and instead focus on what's in front of you, the vast cylindrical tank at the center of Gaia's Gyre. The first time you entered the bar, you floated open-mouthed, much like all the new arrivals do, at the sight of the huge kelp stack, the biggest you've ever seen. Even now, your eyes fixed on the fronds of seaweed that wave in the circulating water beyond the curve of dirty glass, you find it impressive. You take a sip of the harsh saline-scented rack from its magnetic vessel secured to the bar. As you suck on the straw, your eyes following the shifting fronds, you hear someone clearing their throat beside you at the bar. Hypnotic, isn't it? The voice is low and rumbling, and comes from the large figure on the stool next to you. The fluorescent lights behind the bar glint in his eyes, shining up into his wide, rough face. I've heard talk you're hiring. The figure turns to face you. You don't recognize him, but in the shifting light of Gaia's Gaia, that isn't surprising. And you are? Eugene, currently freelance. He turns on his stool and leans back a little. The effect is clearly meant to impress you on his size, and you have to admit, it works.
So I've done a whole slate of crews out of the spindle. Cutters, mercs, extractors.
He smiles and places a broad hand on his chest.
Broad skill set. Whoa, good work ethic. Sense of humor, the full package.
Humble, too. He clucks with his tongue, smiling.
I like you already. No, we're going to get on. I'll run anything out of the fast spindle.
I'm sorry. He keeps going Jamaican on me. And that's not the voice. Let's try something a bit bolder. A bit bolder of a choice here.
I'll run anything out of the far spindle. I'm tough and quiet, and you won't need to worry about me.
He folds his arms across his chest.
What kind of work we talking about?
Before you can answer, a voice echoes out from behind you. Eugene! You look over over your shoulder for the source of the shout. Busy as ever, I see. A group of 3 spacers drift up behind you, one of them placing a heavy hand on your shoulder. She's fitted with matte metal optical implants, and you can't see her eyes. The caustic light from the tank plays across her face. Too busy to keep in touch, she sighs. I really don't like it when I have to come and find you.
Vesna.
Eugene nods politely at her, not betraying any strong reaction.
Do I look like I'm socializing?
He shakes his head.
This is a meeting.
Oh, a meeting. Vesa squeezes your shoulder. Is that what this is?
Yes, Vesa. We're talking about your delivery, in fact.
Eugene smiles widely.
My friend here's being very helpful.
He shoots you a knowing glance. That's right. Vesa turns to you with a raised eyebrow, but before she can speak, Eugene cuts in.
Yes, Sleeper is a unique ability to extract data.
Eugene smiles at Vesna.
Exactly the kind of data you've been asking for. So if we can just get back to it,
Eugene gestures towards you,
then we can deliver what you need.
You know, Eugene, I'm pretty tired of this whole act. She gestures dismissively at him. But in the end, it doesn't matter. She drops her hand from your shoulder to her belt. Your eyes follow it down, and you see a dark, boxy shape there. A weapon? You either deliver by the deadline or you don't. And when you don't, she smiles tightly, I'll be happy to take you through the consequences. Until then, she shoots you a final glance. Chat to whoever you want. Vesna and the 2 spacers flanking her glide out of the bar, and Eugene watches them go with little emotion.
So,
Eugene's smile returns.
You were about to hire me.
What was that? Don't get ahead of yourself. What was that?
Vesna,
he shrugs.
She's just trying to rush me, that's all. I won't be working with her again.
He pauses, choosing his words carefully.
Of course, I can't talk about the particulars, you understand. Vesna just wants to scare you off.
She likes to cause me trouble. Eugene looks away out the door of the bar.
Well, let's not let her.
He pauses in silence for a moment, still looking away. You try to get a read on him, but his face is blank. Only his glittering eyes hint at some rapid internal activity. He turns back to you and meets your eye, a sudden shift in his manner obvious.
If you need good crew, you need to work. If you need to work, you need cryo. Is that right?
He doesn't stop for your answer.
Well, I can offer both. Hard work and a good contract with good payout. You take me with you on this job of mine and we split the take.
He looks down, thinking,
well, if you do, I'll consider signing on long term. He smiles. Think of that. No more recruiting.
What's the job?
Salvage.
He leans in.
I know of a wreck untouched by the local crews, which recently turned up in the wash. It's just a little sunward from here, but its disabled transponder makes it invisible to anyone who doesn't know it's there. Had to squeeze the location out of contact, but I'll share it with you for a straight split. Take me and your crew, and we'll claim it all. It's going to be a good payout. He winks. A really good one.
What's the catch? Eugene frowns.
No catch.
He leans back and looks around the bar.
Happy to take the offer elsewhere. I just felt like you were the right captain for this one. I'll be ready to go whenever you are. Eugene pauses. As a show of good faith, I'll also fly out with you on any job from the far spindle, but I'm not leaving the station with you yet, until we get my job done first. After that, we can talk flying together. No need to rush it. He shakes your hand firmly, his palm rough and pitted, then turns back to his drink. You slip out of the bar looking to see if Vesna is nearby. You don't spot her among the passing crews, but you can't help but imagine you can't help but imagine eyes on you in the bar. You shake it off, having become familiar with the feeling of being observed. What matters is you found yourself a crew member and a contract. Whether either will come good, however, remains to be seen. Yes! Oh, we did lots of stuff. New contract, new drive, new miner drive. We almost have enough for another upgrade. Yes! Okay. Cool. We gotta just recruit him. So, we've actually got plenty of time left on the clock. We can go do this thing. It only costs 2? Perfect. We're full of supplies. We can go do that. That'll get us a 4th one, so we can either upgrade this one to just give us a plus. Or we can upgrade one of these to give us a plus. Ooh, both of those are juicy. Both, because this would allow us then to use like 3s and 4s as if they were 5s and 6s. Which would be awesome. Rather than 3s and 4s as 4s and 5s. Allow us to use 1s and 2s as if they were 3s or 4s. But only for this one time. I don't know. Lots of choices. And we're still a little bit stressed. But we'll sort that all out next time when we come back here on the BackLog. Thank y'all for joining me. I'll play it again later.